Not even the slightest wound remains in my heart. Wounds easily disappear in the presence of true love. Even enemies melt away without a trace in the presence of true love. True love is a heart that gives and gives and wants to continue giving. True love is a love that even forgets that it already gave love and gives love again. I have lived my entire life intoxicated in such love. I wanted nothing aside from love, and I threw my entire being into the effort to share love with my accomplished neighbors. At times the path of love was so difficult that my knees buckled under me. But even then, I felt happy in my heart, dedicated to love and humanity.
Until here. Right, John? Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was the reading. And please join me in prayer. We want to invite Heavenly Father here with us. Thank you so much. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful to be here, the gathering again, Father, on this Sunday service. A special day, Father, special time, because we are dedicating it to you, to good spiritual world, to our good ancestors, to all the good spiritual world working so hard, Father, to make this world a better place to live in. We're so grateful, Father, and we feel so privileged because we know the truth. We know so many things, Father, and we have our eyes open so we can really appreciate, Father, everything we have, everything you gave us, and everything we received from you and from the good spiritual world. We really want to share, Father, this special gift you gave us with everyone else, Father. We meet every day, everywhere around us, Father. We really want to share our precious gift, Father, with everyone. And we want to invite, Father, good spiritual world working with us everywhere we go, and whatever we do, Father, each one of us. We want to finish 1 week and start another week, Father, with a better determination, with a better attitude, Father. And we want to learn with every day, Father, we have here on earth, something special. We want to learn every day. We want to appreciate, Father, also the effort of our brother John, who is going to give the sermon today. Please talk through him and guide us through him. And we invite you once again here with us in my name, Kali, wife of the family, Merka there, to the Rove, which is a blessed and central family. Aju. Thank you, brothers and sisters. So let us invite our brother John. Thank you, John. Welcome.
Good to see you all today. We're at reduced numbers. Reduced doesn't mean quality's improved, probably. But it's interesting. We had our summer anyway this week, as Callie was saying. But yesterday I was just a little story, but it's a small story. I got inspired to go cycling, and because I used to cycle a lot when I was youngster, teenager, young adult, so forth. But I still do a bit of cycling as one of my exercises. But around Balbrickan, there's beautiful, there's kind of hills as well. So like when you cycle up a hill, and then you can free wheel down the hill. So it's a very free feeling, like you can feel the breeze and like on a sunny day, it's especially, I think it's very exciting and sort of very liberating, that kind of feeling. But when I got home, I had also gone to the beach, and I saw I must have been messing around with the sand as well. But when I got home, then I suddenly got this. My eye was very hot, and it's also some sand inside it, and it took me a long time to heal it, And I was thinking, I'm never going to be able to. This is because it was running water and everything, and I had this cold as well. I thought, where did I get this cold on a summer's day like this, And I thought, oh, I have to speak here tomorrow, so it's never going to cure up, I said. in the time because I couldn't really sleep properly and so forth. But the funny part of the human body is amazing. This is what I want to say is that my eye, because I rested it and I cleaned it out with water and with some kind of a cleaning agent, and then gradually it cleared up enough, you know. So I couldn't even close my eye, last night, and then at least I rested it, and then I know I woke up many times, and then there was water streaming down. So, and then by the morning I was healed. This is funny, and I was thinking, human body is amazing. You even have to have a small problem, and the human body will try to fix it, you know, even in a short time. And because, you know, like something like that, because my wife was saying, oh, maybe you got sunburned in your eye, you got too much sun in your eye, and maybe you damaged your anyway. But I just felt grateful that we have beautiful summer and that the human body is designed so beautifully to the nature and to creation. So that was my small reflection from yesterday. Beyond that, my service today is about Father's 10th anniversary of True Father's Songwa. So I'll be talking a little bit about that. 10th anniversary, it's 10 years since True Father passed into the spirit world. And I was in Korea at that time. I think I went by myself, maybe just decided to go. Because I wasn't going on behalf of the church, you know, I just went on behalf of my family. And just reflecting back on those 10 years, you know, and what did I learn in that time? What is my relationship with True Father? If I'm being honest, my relationship with True Father before he passed wasn't very close, really. I did not, I respected Father as a great teacher, as a great, like almost a super person. And I valued the teachings of True Father, you know, and I recognized that in Father, a great teacher. One time, in fact, Father was called Master. You know, there was a long time where people just referred to True Father as Master because he was a great teacher. So, you know, like it was like respect for a great teacher. But as time went by, then we recognized him as a true parent. But that didn't happen even officially for a long time. Well, what I wanted to say is that I recognize Father as a great teacher, but I did not recognize him really as a parent. Now, when I say parent, I mean, what kind of relationship do I have with a parent, you know? And then we're talking about true parents as well. On top of a parent, father and mother are true parents. So what's the difference? And I thought a lot about it in the past to the extent that I thought it's my upbringing. My upbringing was that in our family, we were a little bit distant or cool. So we didn't have that like warm bond, you know, that warm heart towards parents. I did not, even at one time, at times, we kind of felt, yeah, and that has continued, to be honest. And I've given talks about that before, the relationship with myself and my mother and my father and all of that. But my siblings, even up to this day, they complain. They say, well, my mother is such a wonderful person. She prays a lot. She does a lot of devotion. But they said, we don't feel the connection with her. You know, she doesn't engage with us. Now she's very old. So we can expect that when you get very old. She hasn't got the energy to engage with her children. You know, we're adults. It's funny, you grow up and you're 60 years and you're still looking for your parents to be parents, you know, in a sense like that. You still really feel if there's something missing there, you're still looking for it, you know, doesn't matter what age you are. So I'm just saying that I talked to my brother, older brother, I said, well, you know, yeah, I understand this is the way she is. She's doing the very best she can with what she has. She's trying to be the best what she has. She's very religious, of course, but she did the best. And I had a dream recently where my mother came and said, you know, to be a parent is a hard thing in itself, you know, to be any kind of parent. And from that point of view, when you think about it, I thought a lot about that, and my parents were very sacrificial in many ways. They, they would sacrifice everything to educate their children. And my parents, my mother, there was a gap of age between my father and my mother. So my father was 20 years older than my mother, and so forth. But he left to the spirit world, 30 years ago. But anyway, I don't want to try. I'm not talking so much about my family. I just want you to give you the impression of what it means to be a parent. How come somebody can say they're a true parent? Like that's what we teach, that they're true parents. But the thing is, the only way to grasp that is if you really feel that true parents are genuine, that they're truly genuine people. First and foremost, that's what you have to come to. Now, I have read like Father's autobiography, but it's in the foreword that I get that feeling, what's motivating true father? What motivated him in his lifetime? It was a genuine love for people, a genuine love for God, for humanity. That's his motivation. We can take away all the other designations from true father, like Messiah, Lord of the Second Advent. You can take all these designations away from true mother, only begotten daughter, mother of peace. Of course, that's a beautiful one. But truly, they are, if you can't connect to the fact that they are genuine human beings, they are practicing true love, then it's very difficult to have that kind of a relationship with true parents, And that's something that you can, like we read that beautiful part there this morning, Father describing his life. But that's really his life, That's his suffering course. It's his attitude towards humanity, towards God. And he's saying he lived his life practicing true love, living for the sake of others. So you think about yourself, what is true love to you or to me? Do you feel that you practice true love? Do you feel that you receive true love from anybody? Like, in order to practice, to give true love, you also have to receive it. You need to receive true love. You need to experience it in God's creation. You need to experience it that God is the essence. The essence is true love. And I'm beginning to feel that more now myself, that when I think about the creation, for example, I think about God spending millions of years creating this beautiful universe, and he expended all this energy, and his only motivation is true love, because the creation is living for the sake of us. If you look at a flower, or look at a tree, and they're actually living for the sake of others. The whole purpose of the creation is it's living according to the principle, naturally to grow, to show its fruits, and to show beauty. Everything is like that. It's only human beings that are complicated, but if we bring it down to the essence, we are beings of true love. We experience true love. We practice true love. For the last 7 years, True Mother gave us the motto. This, at least in the first 7-year course, was let us resemble our heavenly parents by practicing true love. I just wanted to emphasize that point. You need to experience true love in your life. You need to experience it. There's the only way then you could connect with God as a being of true love. And the only way then you could connect deeply with your parents and then connect with true parents. Because if you don't have that, and I've gone through many different feelings towards true father, like thinking, Father, is Father. Because if you go to Korea, for example, and I went to a few things, and then you see how it's set up, and you think, well, it's what's the motivation here? If you look at the external aspects, you think it's kind of everything is geared in a certain way to education, and even if you're there, it's very much like, oh, clap, clap because true parents are here. And even if you're enjoying a concert, it is like, make sure you clap now and clap for true parents. And I was thinking, well, it's not really true love, because if it was true love, it would come from their hearts, Like we went to the hospital one time to get, now this could be just me, you see, that my thinking. Went to the hospital, they have a hospital in Chongqing, and it's just to get a full body check, because for missionaries and older members. And it was wonderful, really. But then they just this point that irked me was they said, oh, now make sure you write down your reflection here and so report so that your mother will know that you appreciate this. And I'm thinking, yes, let me do it myself. Let me have something to say myself that I genuinely feel that, So what I'm trying to say is, it's your daily life that's so important. You have to connect your experiences in life, and then you connect them with God as a heavenly parent, and then connect them with true parents. Because that is so important. That is very important. The situation recently about I just want to mention that about the Japanese church, because Mr. Abe was assassinated. I'm sure you all know about that anyway. And of course, a lot of people will be very concerned about that and very bewildered, like what's the motivation there? What's his connection and so forth? And then I watched the Reverend Tanaka speaking to the Foreign Journalists Club, Foreign Correspondents Club in Japan. And he was explaining everything just this week. And basically, he had to explain to the media that the motivation of the Unification Church, in Japan, from the point of view that the society thinks that we don't do things because of true love or because of altruism or for the sake of others. They think, the media, and this has been constant, and especially in Japan, that everything you do is a front, like you set up this front for this, and UPF is a front for the Unification Church or something like that. So, yet, of course, you can take that viewpoint, but if brothers and sisters in Japan, that they are very genuine. They are doing their best to live for the sake of others. There isn't that kind of terrible motivation. It's actually very good motivation. Now, they have made a lot of mistakes in Japan because of everything, because the pressure, because I'm married to a Japanese, I just want to say that the pressure of the providence, Japan had to bear the brunt of the most significant financial burden. So they had to find a way to make money. I know it sounds funny, but they do the best. Now, some of the things they did, of course, they should have been more careful, because if you want to raise a lot of money, you have to love people so much and you have to take care of them. You can't just push people to say, okay, you need to give a donation for this or that. So this is the point where I want to say is we now have to get back to this whole concept of true mother, which is get back to the early spirit of the church, which is Holy Spirit and truth. The truth is the true love. Practice the true love. Without that, everything we do would be, in the end, can be accused. You know what I mean? You can be accused as an individual, as a family, as a parent, and you can be accused as a church, because that's the nature of the Satan's world or Cain world. So I wanted to say that in just to explain that point, because I went to when Mr. Abe was killed, and then they had condolence services at the embassies, and we three of us went, including Mia, my wife, and my older brother, had already posted something up on our family chat or something, some newspaper article, and it wasn't so bad, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, the Moonies, this or something like that, but it wasn't like heavy, to be honest. And I said to him, I responded very quickly saying, okay, I'm on my way to I'm sorry I can't respond now, but I'm on my way to the embassy to offer condolences for Mr. Abbott. Afterwards, I thought that was the best answer I could give, really, because I said to him, I'll respond later. And then he comes back to me and says, no, you don't need to respond, because he felt a little bit embarrassed because he put it up on a more public forum where other siblings can see it. And he didn't want to offend me, I think, really. That's the way I took it, you know? So what I'm trying to say there is that the motivation is good, you know? The motivation of all unificationists is good. I think we have the highest motivation, actually, than most other. So we should never put ourselves down as like we have a very high motivation of true love, you know? We connect, we do our best to connect with God as a heavenly parent. Our view of salvation is very pure. You know, it's for the sake of others, total salvation, in the sense that we are not discriminating about who can enter the kingdom of heaven. We're open to all people. You know, if you have that kind of motivation, you could not unite people from different backgrounds. You have to have a big heart, a wide, big and beautiful mind, as Father would say, to bring together people from different backgrounds. And I think that's what that people like about Unification Church, you know, and that's why our work continues. I even saw a short thing from President Trump offering his condolences in the meeting in Korea. You know, he just a very short one, but he did say, so public-minded people can easily separate these situations. They don't think it's, okay, you're connected or you're guilty by affiliation. No, there's not like that. They can see through that. So we must think about that too. Nobody's guilty by association with anything. You're guilty if you're guilty, you know, if you do something wrong, but you cannot, this was a very tried and tested method of the media in the past, was to say, okay, anybody, if you're associated with such and such a group, you got to be something, you know, wrong. So they misconstrue your motives and all that. So that, in the sense, is the essence of my message today. Now, I said for the last 10 years, I myself have started to develop my relationship more deeply with true parents. And I think the reason is because I took more initiative after Father's passing. Before that, I was like a member, you know, I was sort of, I was like a lot of people, you know, I enjoy the ride, you know, I'd sort of just be there. You know, you go to the church services and stuff. I was assistant. I have often been assistant leadership positions, you know, assistant to national leaders, assistant to this. I never really took initiative, and I never really even gave sermons, you know. So I started doing that only in the last 10 years. That's just only in one small part, but just saying, because I try to feel the value of true parents more, you know, and I more easily connect with true mother, to be honest, than even true father. I recognize that, you know, when Father's in the spirit world, true mother speaks. She speaks quite shortly, but because she's on the earth, the spirit world is focused on the earth, so we connect more deeply to true mother. Now, that's my personal experience, but because it's Father's Songhua, I want to say that true parents are one. And another element of true parents is, to be true, you can't be changeable, you know. This is one of the things I learned about that made me understand true parents is true parents don't change. I remember one person said to me a few years back, they said, well, don't you think true mother has changed? That she has changed something, or she has changed. No, but the truth of true parents is, if you're a true parent, you do not change from the beginning to the end, you know? Like, we can change because we're not true. We can change from morning till night, or we might change, you know, at one point we're very faithful, very devoted, but then another point we might say, okay, I've had enough of this, and I'll go away for a few years or something. True mother and true father have said, you know, we don't have that luxury. We cannot say, this is too difficult. I think I'll just resign or something, you know. So this element of trueness is unchangeability or consistency or keeping going from the beginning to the end until everything is completed. True Mother is like saying, I will complete everything. Even Father prayed. We know Father prayed, he said everything is completed when he was one of his last prayers. He prayed like that, and I've done everything. But in reality, Mother said, no, Father did not. Father did everything. It's like Jesus saying, it's completed, it's finished. He said that before he left. But Mother said, no, Father was very disappointed in many things before he left. For example, at the Songhua, nobody from the state level, no current prime minister, not even a previous prime minister attended his Songhua. Nobody from that level of people came to offer condolences when True Father was in Korea. That's what True Mother said. I didn't even know that for a long time. But she determined, no, this can't happen. We're going to liberate Father in the spirit world. We're going to make it different. We're going to build Chonilguk, the kingdom of heaven on the earth. We're going to build the Chonilguk nation. And another point is, that's why True Mother has been working so hard to restore nations, or to go to Africa to find the prepared people, the spiritual people, or the righteous people, so that, and she's reaching out to the top level people. And some people misunderstand that. They think, why do we spend so much time and energy in trying to reach? But actually, you really need that if you're going to make a foundation for a nation. Sometimes our vision is quite small. We're thinking, well, we have a community and such. But ultimately, we need to build our Chonilguk nation. We need to have a vision for that. I've read something recently from Shimon Peres from Israel, and he was one of the first pioneers of Israel as a nation when they first went back. And it's beautiful. He said he had a dream. He had a dream from his youth, and the dream was to have his nation and to get back to Israel and to restore their nation, because they had been wandering in the wilderness for 2,000 years, but that capacity, that heart, I could sort of connect with, that. And I think, what's my dream? Is my dream too small? Is that my dream just to survive and so forth, take care of my family? But do I have a vision and a dream? I might be getting away from the main message today, but particularly I feel closer to two parents now than I did in the past. And I'm thinking, because I want to, because I'm getting old, sometimes I have a lot of regret. I look back and think, what did I do with the most of my life? Did I use it usefully? What kind of, you feel that sometimes as you're getting older. Father himself, when he said as he got older, he felt more and more longing to go back to his hometown in North Korea. And I think that's something we can all relate to. We often hear, at least first gen, I hope second gen too, hear, true parents' ardent wish is the reunification of Korea. We hold so many seminars and peace movements and peace rallies all going on and so forth to do that. But sometimes we miss the most fundamental wish of True Father is because he has a longing heart towards his hometown, towards his home country, because he grew up in North Korea. It's not academic for Father or for Mother. They grew up not far from Cheongpyeong. It's kind of like a border place there. They grew up in that area in North Korea. The most memorable experiences for Father as a boy is how he grew up in his hometown. He's got so many beautiful memories right up to when he was 16 and probably 18, and then he started to move away. But those first 16, 17 years are the most deepest memories in his life, because it's his hometown, his relationships with his parents, his siblings, his cousins. I was reading a testimony from his elder cousin Moon and saying, do you realize that how much Father longs for his hometown. Every day he longs to just be there to live there, you know, that kind of feeling. We don't feel that. We don't feel that heart of, maybe you can feel it if you have a special place that you long to go back to, or you have a hometown. Sometimes second gen maybe don't have a hometown. Maybe it's their home country or something. Because my children used to say, we don't have a hometown. You had a hometown. So because we moved lots, you know, we moved houses a lot. So where's your hometown? Hometown is where your heart is, you know, where you feel at ease, where you feel comfortable, where you feel you want to return. I have a hometown. As I got older, I started to feel more attracted to go back to my hometown. I never went back when Father said, go back to your hometowns and, you know, restore your tribe. I didn't go then. The nearest I got to it is I went to Cork City, and because we did a mission there in Cork City, which is not so far from Limerick, which is my hometown. So I have a connection there, a deep connection, but artistically, still, I don't feel it's enough. But to Father's, his feeling towards his hometown is like he's feeling towards God. It's that kind of a feeling, because this is how he experienced God in his upbringing, in his freedom to go everywhere. You know, you've often read stories. Father would travel around. He explored everything from 6 to 8 to 12 kilometers from his own house. He has so many special memories, and he said that's what he's trying to create. You know, we're talking about the kingdom of heaven on earth. You know, we're talking about that's what we're trying to create. That's those kind of relationships. Father never had that after he left his hometown, after he experienced so much suffering and so much rejection and so much misery, trying to recreate the hometown of God's heart for all humanity, so we could all experience it, so we can even experience it in our communities, in our nation, etc. Finally, I'd just like to read a little bit of what True Mother said in her prayer. This was read last night at the pledge service, or her prayer to True Father in 2019, and just finish off with a few sentences. Mother said, beloved Father, how we miss you, Father. You are always with us. 7 years have already passed. This was 2019, since your holy ascension to the heavenly realms. There is no place in heaven or on earth untouched by your sweat and tears. On this day, we particularly long for you. So again, she goes on, so a very beautiful, heartfelt letter and prayer. She talks about when he passed away and all of that, and how he shortly before Father ascended in 2012, he asked to eat with True Mother, and she said, True Mother said he sits side by side, but this time he said to sit face to face. And in that moment, Mother said, I know, Father, you were trying to engrave my face in your heart, and I was also engraved your face. Like he was preparing to go to the spirit world. That time he was very sick. And so finally, then he went around, just before he passed away, Father went to some schools, Osan school, not so far, because that has a connection with his hometown. He went to that school, and it has some connection to South Korea as well. So he went there as well. And he also went to the Chungshim International Middle and High Schools. This is all just very shortly before Father went to the hospital for the last time. Then Mother talks about what she did after Father passed on. And then she said, I lived each day reaffirming my resolve that I would fulfill your wishes without fail. And to do this, I will not change. She said, following your holy ascension, I felt lost for words, in a position in which I was the only one remaining. My heart felt as if I were in a vast desert, amid a sandstorm, having to find a needle, yet unable to open my eyes. Nevertheless, I found it. I had to find it. I just want to say that because I was in Korea when True Mother said those words, you know, because that was the time Mother was working in Africa, and she had found those spiritual children in Africa, like Prophet Radiba, Monsieur Diop, and Bishop Ndanga, and several others. And she was saying that that was her feeling at the time, you know, and we didn't know that. Like she was saying this to the leaders. But this is what I was feeling. I'm feeling, looking for some, like some key to unlock the providence, to find a way to restore the nations, you know, in a way to unlock the situation in Korea. And so True Mother was expressing that through that feeling. It's a very powerful analogy because she had gone to Africa. She had seen the sandstorms in Niger and places like that, you know, so her feeling was very powerful to express that. That's her inner situation. And like, if we want to a little bit touch, feel parents' heart, we have to feel something what parents go through, you know. So please, let's think about these points. And when Mia comes back, let's welcome her very well so she can give a good report about her experiences in Korea. And finish that. I'll just finish that today. Okay, I'll just say a closing prayer. But I don't have any parents. We thank you so much for this opportunity today to be together, brothers and sisters, small community today, and our brothers and sisters online. We're reflecting on True Father's life, and especially this is the 10th anniversary of True Father's Sangwa. And I heard that maybe there won't be a celebration from only once every 10 years from this point on, but it gives us an opportunity to think deeply and to reflect and to connect with our true parents and to connect our life with your situation and to make a determination to be more filial in the future. Please guide all our brothers and sisters around the nation and all in different places today and all over Europe and the world, especially our brothers and sisters in Korea, that they can have a very deep experience there, and whatever they're attending, that mostly that they can feel through the environment, feel close to God and feel close to Heavenly Parents and to our true parents. I pray this, report this today. And John Kennedy, blessing to our family. Chew.
Thank you so much, dear brother John. That was a very inspiring, many things that we can think about, especially about talking about true love. I think, sometimes true love is not what we, how to explain. True love sometimes is small things, you know, the small details that some person is doing for us. And not only just saying, I love you or take care about you, but just showing it through the example. And I think True Father was basically doing this. He was just loving us unconditionally, and he was just loving everyone, actually, even people who were beating him and treating him very bad. We talk very often about this with my son, and it's very difficult to love someone who treats you bad, and he was able to feel this kind of love. And talking about the hometowns, sometimes it's difficult. It's through second gen was like moving here and there and everywhere. Not all of them, but some of you guys, you really had to move a lot. So you're like kind of a gypsies. So, but anyway, I think our hometown should be everywhere. Every country should be our hometown. We should be able to love everyone, every country, every nation, and every culture. So anyway, let's reflect about the words that John said to us, and let's try to put in practice true love in our daily life. And now we continue with one more song to close this day, Sunday. And let's finish the beautiful song, Father's Dwelling Place. Please join us singing. And yeah, thank you so much. And also we hope when Mia comes back, she can join with us. She can share with us all the experiences she's having now there. I wish all of us could be there, but sometimes it's impossible. But at least we have Mia there, so she can share it with us. I wish a beautiful week to everyone. Please have wonderful experiences and enjoy every day. And see you next morning, Sunday morning. Yeah. Thank you so much and goodbye. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.